Episode 41, Dramatic Twist. There's a special relationship. They not only underestimated Ningxi, but their underestimation was absurd. For them, Xingshur's press conference tomorrow at 9 a.m. was like a timed bomb, capable of anything. Just as Starlight Entertainment's press conference ended, Xingshur made such a big move. It made people suspect that it was premeditated. At present, even the online water armies couldn't reverse public opinion. The media from the entire city would probably attend tomorrow. Amidst the scattered and chaotic pieces, Ning Xuelua paced back and forth like a trapped animal. What exactly is the content of Xingshur's press conference tomorrow? Can't we get any information? Changli shook her head. We've tried every method. Probably only a few high-level executives in Xingshur know about Ningxi's situation. The others, like us, only found out through Lu Jingli's Weibo post. There's no way to find out. What about Lin Jiji? Didn't she repost Ningxi's Weibo? Obviously, she's Ningxi's agent. She must know everything. Ning Xuelua was clearly losing her composure. Changli, seeing that Ning Xuelua was getting agitated, said helplessly, when Lin Jiji was still managing Lang Manyun, we had fierce competition. We even snatched a role from her. Now, trying to get information from her? How is that possible? Nothing works, does it? Ning Xuelua downed the remaining half-cup of wine on the coffee table, and a fierce light flashed in her eyes. That bumpkin. So what if he entered Xingshur? What if Xingshur supports him? Does he think he can rest easy just because he entered Xingshur? Cui Kaijing, seizing the opportunity, hurriedly came over and said flattering words, that's right, Sister Xuelua. As long as this stain remains, she'll never be able to lift her head in front of you for the rest of her life. Moreover, she must have some inside information for joining Xingshur this time. There will be plenty of chances to expose her in the future. Someone like her will eventually drag Xingshur down. The next morning, at the Mingzhu Hotel banquet hall, all the journalists were ready, eagerly waiting for the appearance of today's protagonists. It had been a long time since the entertainment industry had seen such big news. It felt like any random explosive revelation today could become a headline. Apart from the journalists on site, all the people who were concerned about this matter were waiting in front of their televisions and computers for the live broadcast. At exactly 9 o'clock, people from Xingshur began to take their seats. Most striking was Ningxi. On her left was Lin Jiji, on her right was lawyer Chen Jing, and on both sides were public relations director Liang Feixing and Lu Jingli. Just this lineup alone killed countless rolls of film for the journalists on site. Oh my god, my dog eyes. Ningxi's agent is actually Lin Jiji. This is indirectly announcing Lang Manyun's retirement, right? What does Xingshur mean by assigning Lin Jiji as Ningxi's agent? Do they want her to be Lang Manyun's successor? The man on Ningxi's right looks familiar. Isn't he the lawyer, Chen Jing, who handled that major economic case recently? Also, isn't that Liang Feixing personally attending the press conference? Liang Feixing is nothing. The general manager, Lu Jingli, is here. Damn. This lineup is amazing. It's a lineup of a lifetime. Isn't it? Look at Xingshur's artists' press conferences. None of them have this kind of grandeur. The first to speak was Lu Jingli. Firstly, here, I would like to officially introduce our newest member at Xingshur, Ningxi. Ningxi stood up, bowed to all the media and cameras, and then sat back down. The photographers clicked away, capturing the moment. Ningxi wore a black dress today, with a mature makeup look, suitable for such a formal occasion. Lu Jingli continued, next, regarding the concerns of our dear friends about Manyun, Miss Lin Jiji, her agent, will answer all your questions. In the past, any matter related to Lang Manyun would definitely be the focus of attention. But now, unexpectedly, it forcefully turned into a topic everyone hoped to end soon. Fortunately, Lin Jiji's style was always clean and concise. In just a few words, she announced Lang Manyun's marriage and her future work arrangements. In essence, it confirmed everyone's speculation that Xingshur was indeed preparing Ningxi to be Lang Manyun's successor. At this point, an impatient journalist couldn't hold back and urged, we just want to know why Xingshur would sign a morally corrupt artist, and not only that, make her replace Lang Manyun. Isn't Xingshur afraid of damaging its reputation? Other reporters chimed in. Damaging the reputation would be good enough. It's like a grain of mouse droppings ruining a pot of porridge. I suspect that the high-level executives at Xingshur have collectively been bewitched. I'd like to see if Xingshur can talk their way out of this today. Lu Jingli exchanged a glance with Chen Jing. The next time is given to our lawyer, Mr. Chen. Please keep quiet, everyone. Chen Jing? Just now, they were wondering why there was a lawyer at the press conference, and now they were all looking questioningly at Chen Jing. Chen Jing clicked the mouse on his laptop, and then everyone heard a voice through the speakers on site. It's not Ning Shi. It was never Ning Shi who bribed me to manipulate things at Jian Corporation. There's another person who gave me money to tamper with it, but I don't know who that person is. I received an anonymous email instructing me to do so. The person promised me a deposit of 100,000 and said they would give me another 100,000 after the job was done. After the voice stopped, there was silence for 3 seconds before the entire venue erupted. Lu Jingli's gaze turned cold. Please be quiet. Reporters suppressed their shocked and breathless gazes. Then, the large screen behind Chen Jing lit up, displaying 2 pictures. One showed the IP address of the anonymous email, which turned out to be in Zhujiang Daijing where Ning Xuelua was located. The other showed the cracked anonymous account, originating from Ning Xuelua's assistant, Cui Kaijing. Now, the exclamations from the audience couldn't be suppressed any longer. However, it wasn't over yet. Chen Jing presented Ning Xuelua's injury assessment and the doctor's diagnosis report, proving that Ning Shi had stopped with great speed, almost immediately retracting the force once she realized something was wrong. Therefore, Ning Xuelua's injury was only a very light superficial wound, and she could have been discharged on the same day. However, Ning Xuelua stayed in the hospital for several days, deliberately appearing weak and pretending to be seriously injured with excessive bleeding every time in front of the reporters. After presenting this evidence, Chen Jing showed a lawyer's letter, indicating that Ning Xuelua was formally charging Ning Shi with false accusations and defamation. Lu Jingli liked the wicked pleasure of teasing, and Chen Jing's rapid and efficient actions happened within just 3 minutes, bombarding everyone at the scene with one atomic bomb after another. On the side, Liang Feixing suddenly realized that he seemed to have nothing to do, so he touched his nose and said, "All right, let's move on to the question and answer session. If you have any questions, ask away." What questions could they ask? The plot twist happened too fast, they didn't know what to ask. In the beginning, they speculated that Xingshi might be planning to whitewash Ning Shi, and they even thought that Zhang Chong had been bribed by someone to frame Ning Shi. But no one could have expected that the person bribing Zhang Chong was Ning Xuelua herself. All this time, were these so-called righteous journalists and those friends fervently condemning Ning Shi all being played by Ning Xuelua behind the scenes? They found this fact extremely difficult to accept, but the ironclad evidence was undeniable. After a while, someone finally weakly raised their hand. Liang Feixing signaled that the person could ask a question. The raised hand belonged to a reporter who stood up and looked at Chen Jing. "I would like to ask Mr. Lawyer, how did you obtain this evidence, and is it legal? How do you prove the authenticity of this evidence?" Up until now, Chen Jing, who hadn't spoken a single word, glanced at the reporter and said, "I am here, that's enough to prove its authenticity." The reporter was left speechless and couldn't refute. After all, Chen Jing's authority and professionalism were evident. The question asked was somewhat self-deprecating. In addition, the channels we use to obtain the evidence are illegal, and the police have long been secretly involved in this matter. Chen Jing, with a face that appeared just and impartial, said this without changing his expression. All the reporters nodded, no longer doubting the legality and authenticity of the evidence. On the side, Ning Shi awkwardly adjusted her hair. She really admired Lawyer Chen. She felt guilty just listening to this. What legal means? The confession was tortured out of her, and the evidence was dug up by Lu Tingxiao. No wonder she felt a sense of familiarity the first time she saw Chen Jing. Now she finally understood, Chen Jing's style of doing things was very similar to Lu Tingxiao's. Birds of a feather flocked together. Then, the reporters began to regain their senses and started eagerly asking questions. "Reporter, I would like to ask Manager Lu, why did you spend so much time and effort to help Ning Shi? Is it as rumored, that you and Ning Shi have some special relationship?" Lu Jingli touched his chin, thinking, of course, there's a special relationship. Ning Shi is going to be my future sister-in-law. As for my relationship with Ning Shi, in a nutshell, it's like the relationship between a talent scout and a brilliant horse. As for why I spent so much time and effort, it's because I believe in my ability to judge people, and I believe she's worth it. I'm putting this statement here today. In the future, you'll know that this is the most profitable business deal I've ever made, and Starlight will regret losing Ningxi." Lu Jingli's response was perfect, leaving no room for any flaws. The reporters, unable to extract any information from Lu Jingli, finally shifted their attention to Ningxi. Although Ningxi was the protagonist today, Shengshi had protected her so well that there was almost no need for her to step forward. Reporter: "Ningxi, from what I know, you and Ning Xuelua usually have a good relationship. What could be her motivation for doing this? Do you have any grudges between you two?" Ningxi: "It seems like you've asked the wrong person for this question." Reporter: "Staff at the apartment where you reside have mentioned that you haven't been living there for several months. Do you have any explanation for this?" Ningxi: "No, I think where I want to live is my freedom." Reporter: "So, where have you been living during this time? Can you reveal it?" Ningxi: "With friends." Reporter: "Does Jiong Mai know about your joining Shengshi? It's said that you have a good relationship on the set. Did he play a role in this matter?" Ningxi: "Yes, he knows. We're quite good." "No, he didn't." This Ningxi was too slippery. Extracting gossip from her mouth was almost impossible. Helpless, the reporters had to give up on overly sensitive questions and asked another one: "After joining Shengshi due to this unfortunate event, what are your thoughts?" Ningxi: "I want to work hard, help the boss make more money, repay his kindness, and prove that he didn't misjudge me." The reporter automatically associated the boss with Lu Jingli, and only Lu Jingli knew that she was talking about his brother. TSK, his brother must be feeling so pleased. Okay, the press conference ends here for today. If you have any more questions, you can arrange private interviews later. All matters related to Ningxi will be handled by her manager, Miss Lin Jiji. Liang Feixing stood up, concluding today's press conference. All the reporters wore expressions of lingering regret. The press conference at Starlight lasted a full 3 hours, condemning Ningxi in various ways. In contrast, Shingshi's side, with such substantial material, only took half an hour. The difference in scale was evident at a glance. As the reporters were about to disperse, Lu Jingli suddenly spoke up: "Wait a minute. What's going on? Is there another bombshell?" All the reporters stopped in their tracks, turning around with excited expressions. Lu Jingli had the same amiable smile on his face, gently reminding: "Have you forgotten something?" What did they forget?" The reporters looked at each other, all wearing puzzled expressions. Lu Jingli continued to smile, but his eyes showed no warmth. "Ningxi has been scolded by all of you for days without any reason, carrying countless unjust accusations. Don't you think you need to do something about it?" The reporters felt awkward at his words and hurriedly began to apologize to Ningxi. At the same time, they cursed Ning Xuelua in their hearts. Ningxi, on the side, raised her eyebrows unexpectedly. She thought that this mischievous little koi could be quite impressive when he got serious. However, as soon as they returned backstage, Lu Jingli immediately returned to his original form, excitedly bouncing over. "Little Shi, my dear little Shi. I'm free this afternoon. Shall we eat at home later? I'll buy the groceries, wash them, wash the dishes, and you can handle the cooking." "Alright." Ningxi completely retracted her previous thoughts and just wanted to kick this playful little koi away. Does he even realize how easily his words can be misunderstood? Liang Feixing was so shocked that his cup was already overflowing, and water spilled all over the floor. He finally understood why the big boss had personally inquired about Ningxi's situation in the middle of the night. So, Ningxi and Lu Jingli had this kind of relationship? Ningxi mentally scolded Lu Jingli 100 times. She forced a smile and said, "Second young master, I'm afraid I can't make it tonight. I have plans with a friend, so maybe another day. Thank you all so much today." "Thanks." With a simple statement, Ningxi dissolved all the ambiguity. Lin Jiji nodded in approval. This girl had excellent crisis management skills. Her performance today at the press conference was outstanding, proving to be a good seedling. As for her relationship with Lu Jingli, although it seemed easy to be misunderstood, it was obvious that they did not have the atmosphere of a romantic relationship. They were probably just good friends. In the Pearl River Emperor's scenery, in Ning Xuelua's apartment building, Suyen bought supplements early in the morning and came to see her. After chatting for a while, Suyen looked at the time on his watch and turned on the TV. On the screen, Shengshi Entertainment's press conference had just begun, and Lu Jingli was introducing Ningxi's joining. Ning Xuelua hadn't slept all night, and she had applied several layers of foundation to barely cover her dark circles. Originally, she planned to watch the live broadcast at this time, but she didn't expect Suyen to come. She didn't know what would happen later, but she knew she absolutely couldn't watch the press conference with Suyen. Ning Shuelua clung to Suyen's arm, acting coquettishly. "Brother Yen, is there anything interesting on TV? Is there anything good to watch? Let's do something else." Suyen patted her hand, still focusing on the TV screen. "Shuelua, don't be naughty. Brother Yen, do you care so much about Ningxi's matter?" Ning Shuelua pretended to be unhappy. "Don't you care? Don't you want to know what Ningxi will say at the press conference?" Ning Shuelua choked. "Of course, I care about Ningxi too. But I don't like that you're putting all your attention on her." "Alright, don't act like a child. Be quiet and accompany me for a while." Suyen's attitude was unusually firm this time. Ning Shuelua bit her lip and could only continue watching the live broadcast with Suyen. At this moment, the TV was broadcasting Lin Zhizhi announcing the marriage and retirement of Cold Man Yun. Subsequently, a reporter stood up to question why Xingshi signed Ningxi. Ning Shuelua's heart tightened, thinking, let there be chaos, and hopefully, the press conference would end in dissatisfaction. However, this was Xingshi's event, and the reporters couldn't be too unruly. After a few complaints, they did not push further. Ning Shuelua cautiously glanced at Suyen's reaction, only to find that Suyen's gaze had not left Ningxi throughout the entire conference, even though Ningxi had not spoken a single word. A strong sense of crisis rose in her heart. At this moment, the lawyer clicked the mouse, and a familiar voice came from the TV. It was Zhang Cheng's voice. Ning Shuelua's heart raced rapidly. She tried to reassure herself that even if Ningxi managed to get Zhang Cheng's confession, it would only be a way to clear her name. No one would know that she was behind it. However, the unfolding events shattered all her illusions step by step.